Welcome back to another Ohm Lab review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a plugin from the company called Sample Magic. It's a plugin called Magic AB, and it's basically a reference AB plugin. It's incredibly handy, very streamlined and intuitive, so we wanted to take just a few moments and call it out specifically in a video and let you guys see it in action. Just kind of show you what it's capable of. Now, the main intended use of this plugin is, again, a reference tool. So you're comparing A and B versions of a sound. And don't let the name Magic AB fool you. It was probably intelligent to name it this. They could have named it Magic A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I mean, you can load in multiple reference tracks, which is great. And because it's so open and user-friendly, you can actually use it on individual tracks as a reference tool for individual sounds. Now, when I did this, I found one of the only two things that I wish this plugin had as simple features. So let's get into this so we can talk about that. Many of us will sit there and obsess over a kick until it's just perfect. Perhaps we have a handful of kicks in our library of sounds in our studio that we really like, and we're working on a new project and we want to model our newest kick drum after one of those, or at least make sure that it's meeting the benchmark standards that we've set in our projects in the past. So this is a perfect opportunity to take Magic AB for a spin and see what we can do with it. So we've loaded it up onto this track, and here's the kick that we have. Oops, let's solo that. Okay, so it's a basic kick, and I know that this is repeating quickly, and that's going to make some sense here in a second. So to load up our sounds, it's just as easy as, and you can see right here, click to load a track is just as simple as clicking and then load. And you'll notice that it has an unload option here, so don't obsess too much about getting the right sound in the right spot the very first time. It's totally non-destructive. You can go back and load stuff at a whim. So let's just find some kicks here. And what we're going to do is just load all 5 of these. That way you can get a really nice idea of the action and response time, etc. of this plugin. It really is nice. Pleasantly surprised at the simplicity and non-invasiveness, honestly. All right, so here's how this works. You click a power button to turn on the sample or to start playing the sample. Okay, you can zoom, you can adjust volume. This slider is volume. You can set up specific loop regions. I'm going to show you all that stuff on an actual reference track instead of an individual sound because of the following reason. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and turn on our sound here, and that means as soon as I start going, it's going to start going. And then we just click on A or B to move in between, or move between the two, and it's that simple. So here's our sound, and here's our first comparison sound. Our next. Okay, so let's just say that this is the one that we really like and want to work towards making our new kick meet the standard of this kick. It's just as simple as bouncing back and forth between them. You know, hit play in your DAW, hit play on this. And you kind of get the idea of just how quick and easy it's going to be to dial in your sound if your A-B comparison is right at your fingertips like that. So now let's take a look at the main point of this, and that's using this plugin as a reference tool for mixing and mastering. Okay, so it's a great way to do A-B comparisons. I'm just going to load up a couple other tracks that are in this same exact series. So what this is, this right here that we're going to use as our main track is just a demo track for an upcoming release of sounds for our Sound Freaks label. And it happens to be a 3-part series, 3 different volumes of FM8 presets for trap music. So what I've done is I've loaded up number 2 here, and I'm going to open up AB, Magic AB, that is, on the output strip here. Okay, so the end of our signal chain instead of on an individual track. And I'm just going to load up the other demos in this same series, which makes a lot of sense, right? You want to make sure that all of your stuff is living up to a certain standard, that when people are listening to them together, there's some continuity between them. So let's just go ahead and take this for a quick spin and see what it does for us. Okay, so that's our main track. We can start listening to our next track. Okay, we can move over to volume 3 here. Okay, now you'll notice that all of these are moving independently from one another. Okay, so our main track is still moving. We move back over to it by clicking A. Okay, we move back over to our other reference track by clicking the power button. Okay, now you can kind of get the sense that we need to set up some boundaries here. We'll probably need to set up a loop region, maybe, and I have no idea where we are in this song right now, but so we set up a loop region here. Let's say that we want to set up a loop region on this first one. So we're going to stop the playback just to make it easier on ourselves. We click the loop button, and it's going to present to us these beginning and end points for a loop region, which is nice. It's very user-friendly. You can then expand it by using the 2-time and 4-time tools. You can retract that and shrink it down by using the half and the quarter tools. You can turn off looping completely by just clicking the loop button. Now, you can also zoom. Okay, now you don't actually have to activate zoom by clicking on zoom. You can actually just kind of click and drag up or down on one of these. And you'll notice that instantly in zoom mode, you get 2 versions of your waveform at different levels. So you can see what part of the track you're zooming in on, and you can see how far in you're zoomed, obviously. And then you can scroll through, it's brilliant. It's a very user-friendly way to go about doing all of this stuff. You also have the option of using the A/B mode, where it's just visual, okay? Okay, so that's the basics of the interface. You also have the ability to bypass it, obviously. Preferences, you can come in here and adjust your crossfade time. So no crossfade, you just instantly jump from one to the other. You can crank it all the way up to 2,000 milliseconds, which is pretty crazy for comparison when you think about it. Check this out. Okay, so for me, that's probably a bit too much. I'll bring this down. I like a little bit better response time, so my mental image, I guess, of the sound is still very present when it gets to the other track. Yeah, somewhere in there is fine for me. So, the mini A/B view gives you a very shrunken down, minified version, and it's great for when you're actually tweaking parameters, when you're trying to match up your different tracks, because you can minify it like this and stick it over in a corner, and you have plenty of room on your screen for your EQs and compressors or whatever you're working with to dial in your sounds. So that's it in a nutshell, folks. It's incredibly user friendly. It's very low CPU. You can create your own presets. So, if you're working on an album and you want to make sure that you're comparing everything to the same exact reference materials in the same exact ways, you can create your own presets, which is brilliant for instant recall. Yeah, can't give this little guy enough props. We definitely recommend it. I mean, no matter what kind of music you're making, it's relevant to you. It's powered by Blue Cat, so you know that it's solid, and that it's being paid some attention. There have been updates to this, so it's not like one of those plugins you're going to get and it's just going to fall off the developer's radar at some point. So, yeah, definitely can't recommend it enough. Again, you can grab this from the Sample Magic website, where you can also find some more details, some helpful videos, links to the manual, which is available in both PDF and online form. You can also grab it from Plugin Boutique, so you can burn up some of that virtual cash that you've been stashing, saving up for the right plugin. This might be the one for you. And of course, you get to earn some more cred as well while you do that. It's also a great place to come in and check out what different producers are actually saying about this stuff. It's great to hear what folks like, well, let's take a look, like Music Tech and SOS. These guys are great, and it's great to hear what they have to say. It's also great to hear from individual producers and what they have to say about it. So you might want to check out both destinations while you're dinking around online looking at this stuff. Hope this was new to you. Hope that you've never even heard of Magic AB and that this was a great discovery for you today. As always, love seeing you here, folks. Thanks for swinging by. Appreciate the support. Leave us a comment below and let us know what other plugins you want reviewed in the very near future. All right. Thanks, folks. Cheers.